From Pat Kennelly Field, Pat Kennelly Diamond and Alumni Field on the campus of Southeastern University. It's high school baseball, courtesy of CrescentCitySports.com. As this evening, the Zachary Broncos play host to the Destrehan Wildcats. And a pleasant good evening to you, Ken Trahan, along with Lenny Van Gilder of CrescentCitySports.com. Great matchup between a couple of programs that have been traditionally good to outstanding, depending on the particular year. In the case of Zachary, the latter would apply this year. Outstanding. The Broncos with a record of 21-1 overall this year. They've won 9 consecutive games, and they're second in the power rankings in 5A, according to the LHSAA most recently, and also in other power rankings unofficially to this point in time, along with Sam Houston right in that position. Ironically, Sam Houston, the only team to have defeated Zachary this year. Lenny, when you talk about the Zachary Broncos, a couple of things come to mind. And that would be excellence across the board. Where do you want to start? They hit the ball extremely well to the tune of 345. They pitched the ball incredibly well to the tune of a 1.22 earned run average. And if they get on base, you're in deep trouble. They've stolen 85 bases this year in 22 games. Simply put, they put enormous pressure on you. They really don't have a perceivable weakness.
No, they don't. And this is a really good year for Class 5A baseball, it would appear, in the state of Louisiana. You mentioned some of those rankings. There's a couple of polls that have Zachary nationally ranked. In fact, Max Preps does their own computer poll out there. They've got Sam Houston and Zachary 1 and 2 in the nation right now in their computer rankings. So to give you an idea of what the nation thinks of high school baseball in Louisiana right now. There's a couple of other teams that are ranked out there. We've seen Barb ranked, who of course is in the same league as Sam Houston. They're currently 4th in the power rankings in 5A. We've seen John Curtis ranked out there. Of course, we had a chance to see them last week here on Crescent City Sports against Rummel, and they're headed to North Carolina for the National High School Invitational this week. Bottom line is, really good year for baseball. You're going to see a really good team tonight in Zachary, but boy, are they going to be tested.
Well, they certainly will. And where the Broncos are concerned, several players that have excelled this year, some of which are going to have an opportunity to play at the next level.
Yeah, no question about that. They've got some guys who have already committed or they've gotten offers. We see, let's see how that all evolves. Whether it's a Collier Crawford who's got offers from around the state, Red Abear, who will play third base tonight, we could see in relief, is committed to Southern. Their number 1 pitcher, Nathan Keller, is committed to LSU Eunice. Keelan Brown, who is an outstanding two-sport prospect, has a number of offers on the football side, and we expect to see them on the baseball side as well.
Destrehan, on the other hand, outstanding program under Chris Meir, traditionally good. They're good again this year. They started slowly, Lenny. They were 4-8. They're 12-9 now. They won 8 consecutive games and were rolling, and then they got the train stopped by Central Lafourche 3-2 this past Saturday, but it does not detract from the fact that this team has really gotten on track, and they're playing very good baseball.
They are, and all you need to look at is last week when they swept a 2-game series from their arch rival, Hahnville. You can almost take it to the bank. That's going to be a split every year. Turns out that was a sweep for the Wildcats this year, puts them in great shape in the district race.
We get the treat of seeing Landon Marceau, the LSU signee, here this evening, 90-92 with his fastball. Really good curveball, which he commands and strikes out people with. Last year here in this ballpark, he stopped Zachary 1-0.
Yeah, and we'll have a chance to try to do that again, and it might be that type of game once again here this evening. We'll see how it all plays out. Marceau coming off a win over Hahnville in his last start.
Of course, his opponent, Joey Blanchard, taking his warm-up tosses as we speak, and he's been nothing less than sensational as well. 4-0 with an 0.36 earned run average. You heard it right, 0.36 on the year. Blanchard's pitched 19 1/3 innings, and he's allowed just 14 hits, 4 runs, only 1 earned run. He's walked 10, struck out 24. He's been really good. The lineup for the Wildcats: Clay Herm leads off in right field. T.J. Thomas at shortstop hits second. Bryce Rochelle, the catcher, bats third. Dustin Joliffe, the first baseman, cleans up. Zach Weil, the left fielder, hitting fifth. Avery Scheck-Snyder batting sixth at second base. Ethan West, the DH, hits seventh. Cole Porter, the third baseman, batting eighth. Brock Meir, the center fielder, hits ninth. Herm, Thomas, Rochelle, Joliffe, Wild, Scheck-Snyder, West, Porter, and Meir with Marceau on the mound. We're ready to roll. Clay Herm leads it off for Destrehan, batting at 302. No homers, 9 RBI. First pitch of the game, we're underway with a fast strike at 5:28. So starting a little bit early here in Hammond this afternoon. Blanchard is a strike thrower, as the numbers would suggest. He'll get ahead of hitters frequently. Herm, a spark plug for Destrehan. Takes one down and away, a breaking ball. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Clay Herm has been, as I mentioned, the instigator of sorts for this team. He gets on, good things happen. He is a senior at 5'10", 155 pounds. Here is the 1-1. In the air, right side, and playable. Right fielder on, second baseman out. Second baseman takes control, and David makes the catch for out number 1 to take care of Clay Herm. T.J. Thomas to the plate. Weather conditions, well, it's windy. It's mostly cloudy. The temperature is at 76 degrees, humidity 68%, but the wind is out of the southeast at 16 miles an hour. It's been blowing out and blowing out hard. Not as hard at the moment as it has been, but stay tuned. Here's T.J. Thomas at 159. No homers or RBI. And he takes an off-speed pitch for a strike. Zachary in their home whites here this evening. The royal blue and the sky blue look as well. Destrehan in their black road uniforms. 0-1. And a strike is called at 2-2. Their maroon helmets, maroon numerals, white pants. 0-2 the count. Straight away defensively. Pretty shallow for Thomas, as mentioned. No homers or RBI on the year. This is not a heavy-hitting Wildcat squad. Right side on the ground and easy. Taken care of by Jackson, and 2 are gone here in the first.
As you look at Blanchard, Ken, he's the guy who can throw 4 pitches for strikes. Fastball, cutter, change, curveball. He can throw them all for strikes, and that's what's going to keep you off balance. Not going to blow you away. Fastball's about 82 to 84, could top out at 85. So he's just got to pound the zone.
Down for a ball to Bryce Rochelle. Rochelle, their best hitter. Seen him play 3 times this year. 346, driven in 4 runs. Moves the ball around very well. Straight up defensively. Second baseman David on the outfield grass, and that's a story in this ballpark as well. Down and away, 2-0. Interesting dynamic with the surface here at Pat Kennelly Diamond.
Yeah, artificial turf infield's been in place for a couple of years. It is still grass in the outfield. And look, at the end of the day, we know how much rain we get in southeast Louisiana. This is going to help you get games in and maintain your surface.
Swings and misses, off speed, fooled him on 2-0, and it's 2 balls and a strike. That tells you something about Blanchard's command right there.
2-0 went off speed right there. He's got confidence to throw all of those pitches at any point in the count.
The 2-1. Good breaking ball for a strike called. It's 2-2. Blanchard looking for the quick first inning. 2-2. Fisted back to the screen. A lot of scouts are behind home plate watching this one per usual when Marceau pitches.
You'll get the look at him at the bottom of the first. Imagine as soon as he gets out there and starts warming up, the guns will pop out.
Rochelle stays alive. Beats it down the line, but well foul, holding it 2-2. And at the very least, making Blanchard throw a few pitches after a couple of quick outs here in the first. Rochelle checked. Did he go? No, he did not. And on the appeal, the answer is no, and I think it's the correct call. So the count fills at 3-2. Destrehan stays alive. Zachary players were heading off the field without the benefit of the call. Full 3-2 now. Blanchard, the sign from Milazzo, outstanding catcher who's back behind the plate after being out for a while. In the air to center, right at the center fielder Town. Puts it away. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Blanchard. We're on to the bottom of the first. And Zachary coming to bat with no score. And to the mound goes Landon Marceau. Let's take a look at the Zachary Broncos lineup for this one. Leading off at third base is Red Abear, batting second at shortstop. Collier Cranford. Rivertown, the center fielder, hits third. Joey Blanchard does the pitching and cleans up. Keelan Brown is the right fielder, batting fifth. Tyler Jackson at first base hits sixth. Jaden Williams in left field hitting seventh. It's Sam Catano, the DH, batting eighth. Creed David is the second baseman hitting ninth. Alex Milazzo, the catcher, not batting. It will be Abear, Cranford, and Town. Blanchard, Brown, Jackson, Williams, Catano and David against the right-handed offerings of the senior Landon Marceau, the LSU commit, who has been everything that you would expect this year. The only thing about Landon is not a lot of decisions, Lenny. He's only 2-0 on the year, despite the fact that he's dominated with a 0.37 earned run average. And when you look at the strikeout numbers to go along with the walks, it's pretty impressive.
His 3 to 28 is crazy. This is only his 4th start of the year. So I think when you've got a talent like this, and it's smart to use him wisely. You're not going to see him, pitching like crazy. He's probably going to be out there once a week. He last pitched on Tuesday. He's out here today, and in this situation against arguably the best team that Destrehan is going to face in the regular season. Of course, you mentioned second time they've seen Zachary this year, but let's see. Put your best up against the best you're going to face, and see what happens out there.
Warm-up tosses are complete, and Red Abear will head to the plate. Abear, outstanding two-way player, hitting at .426, no homers and 10 driven in. And the third baseman, Porter, already cheating in on the artificial turf. Again, the surface here is very different. Turf infield, grass outfield, as mentioned. Lights on to start the ball game here, and Abear taking it low for Marceau. It's 1-0. Hot one, strike called. It's 1-1.
It had some giddy up on it and burned off the inside corner right there. We had a chance last year to televise Marceau's game at Hanville, and he struck out 18 in 9 innings of that game, got a no decision.
Well, there goes the no-hitter, a base hit to left by Abear as he lines a 1-1 pitch into left field, and the Broncos have the leadoff man on. And any time they get someone on base, it's an adventure. As mentioned, they play the game as well as anyone. 85 stolen bases, caught 15 times. They'll run anytime, anywhere, but they'll also put a lot of plays on, Lenny, and that's what to watch for, much like we've seen with the Barb program over the years. Collier Cranford, the batter, and he's hitting a cool .447. 2 homers, 19 driven in. Abear, good speed at first. Marceau is low, and it is 1-0. And again, they'll run anytime, anywhere, regardless of the score or the count, and regardless of where they are in the lineup. Abear leads their team with 16 stolen bases. He's only been caught twice. Play the hitter, Cranford, to hit to the opposite field. And this bunt is right at the plate. That is a fair ball. He's ruled it fair, and everybody's safe. That's going to be a base hit. Now, that could be an interference call for sure. And Chris Mears is going to talk about that. If the hitter doesn't escape or get out of the way in that circumstance, then it's certainly going to bring about the concept of interference, and that's what the umpires are going to talk about.
And Chris Mears has got a great argument. As you see there on the replay, the batter took one step towards first base and then stopped, and the catcher ran smack into him going after the ball.
Yeah, there's no chance to make a play there. I mean, you can't possibly allow this to happen in this circumstance, can you? Chris Mears living, and he should be. I mean, his catcher has to have the ability to make a play. Not only did he not make it, but then the ball was batted behind home plate. And a long discussion is going to take place. As it is, it's going to be first and second with nobody out. And it's going to have Destrehan in peril already in this game with Rivertown ready to head toward the plate. And Marceau has to sit and wait. I wouldn't be surprised to see him take a warm-up toss or two in this situation.
If you don't want him to throw it to the catcher, throw it towards your first baseman or your third baseman right here just to stay loose.
Well, the guy with the best view clearly is the home plate umpire. He's right on the play. And they're going to let it stand. So that's a break for Zachary, and Rivertown will have an opportunity here. Good left-handed hitter at .355, 2 homers, 16 driven in. So bunt play turns into something really good here for Zachary right away. Squares to bunt and toward third, foul. Again, they will make you play the game. That's what they do. 0-1 the count. The play goes as an error on the catcher, and that's unfortunate. Very difficult error on Rochelle. I don't know how.
I don't understand that either. They've got that on the board, but I don't understand how that's an error on the catcher right there.
We're just going by what we see. So 0-1 the count.
Unless they called interference on the fielder, that would be the only other thing. But that's even then, I don't get it.
No, he's got a right to the ball.
Yep.
Pitches away, a changeup missing, and it's a ball. And the count is even up at 1-1. He'll mix in a change to go along with a very good curveball and that fastball that we know of. 1-1 the count.
They are using the radar gun here tonight on the scoreboard in Hammond, America, so we can keep up to date with the velocity on Marceau's fastballs.
1-1. Fastball bunted foul back to the screen. It's 1-2. And again, these guns oftentimes do not reflect accurately depending on what guns they're using. And what I mean by that is you go to different places, and I've seen this in major league parks. A guy will throw 92 in one park and 98 in another in his next start, and the difference just isn't that striking. It's simply the equipment that's being used.
No, it depends on the angle they're shooting it from, everything else. It's it's a lot of things come into play right there.
So a ball and 2 strikes. Runners at first and second here. Nobody out in the bottom of the first. From Alumni Field, campus of southeastern Louisiana. Bunt likely off here. Town squaring anyway. Fast one away. 2-2. Scoreboard says 86. I have my doubts about that.
Yeah, it's a little harder than 86, I think.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
There's a lot of guns right down below our vantage point. We'll get Matt Merritt on camera to show you just how many scouts are sitting down below, because there's a lot of them down there.
2-2. Bunts and misses. The runner breaks for third. He steals it. So there's the pressure we're talking about defensively, and the runner at first held. So it's a strikeout of Town. A stolen base for Abear. Runners end up at corners with 1 out. Joey Blanchard to the plate.
Yeah, you got a view there of down below what our camera position is, down in those first couple of rows behind home plate. There are, I would guess, at least a dozen scouts. There's been, as Chris Meir told us before the game, there's been at least 20 at some of these games this year, and his players aren't fazed by it. They know to expect it. He's an outstanding prospect, arguably the best pro prospect in the high school ranks in Louisiana right now.
Blanchard, 355. He has 5 home runs and 25 driven in, and he's showing bunt. And runner breaks for second. You knew that was coming, and a strike is called, and they get 2 runners into scoring position. This is par for the course. When they get people on base, they are going to run. They are going to bunt. They will put plays on throughout. They put more pressure on you than anyone in the state, the possible exception of Barb. 0-1 the count. And maybe more than Barb. Just depends on the given year. But Glenn Giacchini really has established that playbook for people that play this style of baseball. No balls and a strike. Here it comes. That's a hook for a strike, and it's 0-2. And good curveball there. That's 76 on the scoreboard here. 0-2 the count. Another guy that plays that style is another former Southeastern great, Cass Hodges of Holy Cross. Very similar style of baseball. Put a lot of pressure on you. No balls and 2 strikes. In at first and third, back at second and short, and he hit him. So on 0-2, that displays a lack of command as he went off speed and hits Blanchard to load him up. It's not the worst thing that could happen for Marceau or Destrehan. Sets up the force play or the double play.
Well, I think you're going to have a hard time doubling this guy up the way Keelan Brown can run.
That's why I said force play first.
Yes.
Keelan Brown at the plate.
And they want to think about coming home if you got the opportunity, because this is a hard one to double up. Of course, if you recognize the name, if you're a fan of high school football, he was the starting quarterback for Zachary's state championship winning team this year. Defeated another River Parish school from St. Charles Parish, Hanville, in the state championship game.
349, 2 homers, and 16 driven in. Marceau operates from the stretch and brings it towards short. This will get a run home. They're going to go to third to get it out there, and it's a 1-0 lead for Zachary on an RBI by Brown on the fielder's choice. And the right play to make there by the shortstop, Thomas, and he did not hesitate. He was playing back on the play.
Right, and his momentum was carrying towards third base, and he went to third base rather than have to come back across his body, try to make a play at second. Play right in front of him there, and it was actually a pretty close play at third base. And, maybe a half a step there. Of course, you got a slide going into third, but it was still a very close play at third.
Cranford retired at third. Run scores 1-0. Here's Tyler Jackson. So they've already scored on Marceau. They couldn't score on him last year. Swing and a miss. Runner big break from second. Catcher Rochelle faked the throw but did not offer. It's 0-1. No balls and a strike. Runner at second, jockeying around, getting the attention of Destrehan. Well, that's what they do. They will really distract you.
Even the best pitchers can have a difficult time dealing with all of that activity and motion on the base paths.
Marceau taking a lot of time here. Now steps off. Continues to take a lot of time as he peers in at Rochelle and just not getting together at all. So time called once more by Jackson.
And you've got a runner.
Get a visit to the mound.
Yeah, you've got a runner at second base. I guess trying to make sure signs are straight. You got to go through a series of signs right there, and you can't just put down one sign because the runner at second will know exactly what's headed your way.
Exactly. 1-0. Zachary on top, trying to add to that here in the bottom of the first inning. Marceau brings it. Down and out. Even up at a ball and a strike on Jackson with 2 on, 2 outs. From the belt to the plate. Missed the outside edge with a fastball. 2-1.
Yep.
Scoreboard says 88 on that one.
Yeah, that's a little closer to reality there. But the other thing you got to consider in this, with all of the distraction that Zachary provides you with on the base paths, is you've got your defense on the move as well, which can make it very difficult to defend. You got to keep cutting guys towards the bag at second and trying to make sure you're not just giving up third base.
2-1 is off the fists and fouled to the on-deck circle and fielded cleanly by Jaden Williams, who stands in the on-deck circle, and it's 2-2.
That's the best we've seen on the gun thus far, 91 on that pitch.
Well, maybe the gun is starting to wake up. Or Marceau is, one of the two.
Look, good pitchers can add and subtract a little bit from their fastball.
With the 2-2 pitch down, nice pickup by Rochelle. It's full 3-2, and runners will be off with the pitch here. And if you're Marceau, you simply have to focus on the hitter. And I know your breaking ball is a good pitch and you can throw the change, but you got to come after him right here, don't you?
I think so. I didn't think he handled that 91 very good. You got to come in.
Threw him a breaking ball, a wicked one, and strikes him out. Rochelle has to throw to first to get the pickup and the out, the inning over with a run. And they do it on a hit with a big error on a controversial play. And 2 runners stranded. We played 1. Zachary on top of Destrehan, 1-0. You're watching high school baseball at CrescentCitySports.com. This portion of Crescent City Sports Prep Baseball is presented by Hancock and Whitney Bank. Want a bank that was ranked among the top of the nation for business banking? Hancock and Whitney Bank has you covered with nearly 200 locations across the Gulf South. So stop by today. Learn more at HancockWhitney.com. 1-0 Zachary as we start the second. Joey Blanchard mowed through the Wildcats 1-2-3 in the first. Dustin Joliffe, cleanup hitter, starts it in the second. The first baseman, 303. He's got 16 RBI on the year. And a borderline strike inside corner at the knees called against Joliffe. No balls and a strike. Wild and Schexnayder to follow. Oh, and 2. Only used 14 pitches in the first inning. Did Blanchard, which bodes well. Likes to work quickly, catches the ball, and he's already ready to go.
Love that. If you're not just a pitcher, not just a fan, but playing defense behind him.
On the ground toward first. Easy chance for Jackson again. And out number 1, he's had 2 easy plays thus far. 4 in a row set down by Blanchard to start the game. And Zach Wild will bat. The left fielder, 286, a homer, and 14 driven in. So far, we've seen Destrehan hitters who have been behind Blanchard. All 4 to this point, pretty much. Missing away as he showed bunt. You've had a couple of ground outs to first base, a pop out to second, and a fly out to center. Not able to get around on Blanchard thus far. The Wildcats, not a heavy hitting team as we spoke of. Only 225 batting average. Strike call, breaking ball. It's 1-1, and he will show you 4 pitches. And as his outstanding coach Jacob Fisher pointed out, he can place them all in the zone. Tremendous advantage. The 1-1. And there's the inside corner strike call with a fastball.
He's had a little bit of a break on the mound. You mentioned the injury to the catcher Milazzo, who's back in the lineup today, although not batting. He's just catching. Blanchard's the backup catcher, so he was behind the plate last week while Milazzo was out.
The 1-2, swing and a miss at the hook. First strikeout for Blanchard. He's looking very good with 5 straight retired to start the ball game. 2 disposed of here in the second, and Avery Schexnayder, the second baseman, to the plate. Schexnayder, 207, no homers and 9 driven in. To left, it's hit well down the line, into the corner. That is a fair ball up against the barrier. He will round first, on his way to second with the first hit for the Wildcats. A ringing double by Avery Schexnayder, who claps his hands excitedly at second base.
Well, that's a good approach right there, Ken. What has been happening thus far with Blanchard? He's been throwing strike 1. He went after the first pitch right there and jumped on it and drilled it down the left field line. So good aggressive at bat right there, and you see that one well hit the base of the wall on the fly, and standing at second with a double. The Wildcats not only have their first base runner of the evening, but they've got one in scoring position.
Opportunity for Ethan West at 182, a home run though, and he's got 11 driven in. Steps off. Second baseman Brown will cheat up the middle with a right-handed hitter at the plate, trying to hold. Schexnayder as close as is possible. Now he breaks towards second, peels off, pitch from Blanchard. Waved at the breaking ball. First pitch approach again, but he did not get the fastball.
Right. And I think you've got to, whether that was a conscious adjustment by the Destrehan hitters or just has worked out well for them. I think that's when you've got a guy that's throwing a bunch of strikes, you've got to be aggressive early in the count. You can't wait necessarily for what you might say is your pitch. You've got to go after pitches early in the count. You're going to be behind 0-2. Then you're not going to get your pitch.
Pickoff move to second, pretty good one. Just back in is Schexnayder. Good timing on the part of Blanchard and David there. Again, this team just plays the game, and they play it extremely well. You have got to be alert at all times against Zachary. And off the plate, catcher set up off the plate, hit the glove, but good call by the home plate umpire, and it's even at 1-1. 1-1 the count. Schexnayder, pretty good lead. And down and missing on the pitch. It's now 1-2. West offering it one in the lower region, really out of the zone, and he's in the hole now.
Schexnayder was a good 40 feet off the bag at second right there. Had the catcher come up with that one cleanly, we might have had a play back at second to end the inning. That's the other thing you can do here is you see West step out there for a second. Pitcher in a rhythm like that, step out on him a little bit. Try to break that rhythm.
Taps it foul and stays alive. Holding it 1-2. Slowing down noticeably out of the stretch. Blanchard, big difference, right?
No doubt.
Another 1-2. Down, a ball snap, throw to second. They've got him. Runner breaks for third. He'll make it. So once you have that lead, and you picked it out, Lenny, on the previous pitch, as Schexnayder was taking liberties, trying to get a secondary lead to be able to score on a base hit. And that time, he was in no man's land, so he did the right thing and took off.
And no point trying to go back to the bag at that point. Make them make another throw. It's, I always talk about on a rundown. You don't want to. If you're defending a rundown, you want to be able to do things in one throw. Make another throw. Don't go back to the bag at second.
Here's a ground ball left side. That's going to be a base hit to left, and this game is tied. Ethan West delivers the big two-out single. And that stolen base is huge because on a shallow single to left with the ball in front of you, I don't think he scores from second.
Right, even with two outs there, when he's off on the crack of the bat, I don't think he scores right there, or we're going to have a bang-bang play at the plate. But give Destrehan some credit there. 2 outs, nobody on, and getting down towards the bottom of your lineup, they put something together right there. The double, the stolen base, and the single by West to tie this ball game up.
And a pretty close play at first there.
And look, this is a Destrehan. You're talking about Zachary wanting to put a lot of pressure on. This is a Destrehan team that likes to play the small game as well. So while you saw what happened on the steal of third as the guy got caught off of second base, they will try to run a little bit as well.
Not going, swinging a foul, and a lot of first pitch swinging here in the second inning as Destrehan very cognizant of the fact that Blanchard is a strike thrower. Don't want to be behind in the count. Porter is 0-1. Porter 105 with 3 driven in on the year. Not the lineup depth that we're accustomed to seeing with Destrehan, but they have played better and hit better of late. Strike called outside corner. Got the call as Milazzo, a very good catcher, frames it up. It's 0-2. Stepped out, so Porter surveying. Play him slightly to pull around the outfield. Doesn't get the breaker in the dirt. Picked up by Milazzo, guns him out. The inning is over. Destrehan gets even with a run on 2 hits. They strand a runner there first. We're on to the bottom of the second. Game on. We're tied 1-1 from Pat Kennelly Diamond here at CrescentCitySports.com. Bottom of the second inning, we're tied at 1. Along with Lenny Van Gilder, I'm Ken Trahan. The Merritt brothers taking care of business here on the campus of Southeastern Louisiana. And here in the second, it will be the bottom 3 against Landon Marceau, who labored in the first. Got out of a jam, though. Jaden Williams, Sam Catano, Creed David. Williams at 238. He's driven in 3. Third baseman way in. And a strike from Marceau. Good fastball as he's starting to find himself. It's 0-1.
Especially when you're facing a team like Zachary. Really need to get out in front of hitters. Don't want to work from behind.
There's that good overhand curveball for a strike, and it's 0-2. And that's what makes him such a good pitcher. You get to the major Division I level, a lot of guys will throw 90, but you've got to have at least that second pitch that's a good one, if not 3 pitches. He's got a good curveball. You see it again. This one breaks down. Boy, that's a tough pitch to lay off of 0-2.
It is, and that's the kind of pitch you want to throw 0-2 right there. You want to bury that breaking ball in the dirt. Your catcher is your best friend in those situations, especially with runners on base.
Gassed him and got him. So Marceau heating up. That's 2 strikeouts in a row, 3 in the game, 1 gone. Sam Catano to the plate.
The radar gun just said 00. I don't think that was 100 right there, but that was certainly up there. The one thing I always found about radar guns, and you spent a lot of time watching them in the minor leagues, the higher the fastball, they have a tendency to show a little bit higher on the gun.
Threw that one by him. It's 0-1. Watched him pitch most recently against Jesuit and stoned them. He was really good. And he was consistent. Low end 88, high end 92 on that day. And I had a chance, and the reason I know that, Lenny, is because the guns were right literally below me. I could see them with the naked eye, and I was watching the whole time. And when you see that many guns in agreement about velocity, you've got a pretty good idea that it's accurate. 1-1 pitch. There's a good fastball. It's 1-2.
Obviously, Marceau will have a decision to make 2-3 months from now.
Breaking ball popped him up. Got in on the hands. Schexnayder there to put it away. 2 gone.
He signed, of course, with LSU in November, but these scouts are out here with the intent of possibly selecting him in the Major League Draft in June. How high will he go? How much bonus money will he get offered to make a different decision and not head up I-10 to Baton Rouge?
There's a number, figuratively and literally speaking, to look at. There's a ball hit up the middle. Shortstop goes to get it. Nice range, good throw, good stretch, out-recorded. Thomas to Joliffe. That's 5 in a row set down by Marceau. Hold that thought as Destrehan takes care of business here in the second. Let's go to the third. Still tied at 1 from SLU on CrescentCitySports.com. This portion of Crescent City Sports Prep Baseball is presented by Gibbs Construction, a leader in the construction industry in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast for more than 35 years. Transforming dreams, visions, and plans into reality. Gibbs Construction. It's 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left for Destrehan. It's 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left for Zachary as we head to the third inning. And it will be Brock Meir to lead it off. Then the top of the order, Clay Herm and T.J. Thomas. And a bunt in front of the plate. Pouncing on a Milazzo. Easy chance, 1 gone.
That shows you what kind of catcher he is right there. That was some great instincts behind the plate. Got out, bounced out there, picked that up on 1 hop, and gunned it down to first base. He's an outstanding defensive catcher, and we saw why just right there.
It was the 32nd pitch by Blanchard. And now the top of the order, Clay Herm. He popped out to second his first trip. Off the outside edge, 1-0. Milazzo again holding that one for the extra half second to a second, trying to steal the call. As good catchers will do. You might not get that one, but you might get another here in the future. Towards short, Cranford has it on the move. Nice play, and 2 gone. And this team, Zachary, really sound defensively as well as good offensively, as mentioned. T.J. Thomas to the plate. Grounded to first, unassisted back in the first. Lights have been on since the outset of the game here on a partly cloudy to cloudy evening with the wind blowing in Hammond. Showed bunt, took a ball. And again, Thomas would like to work the count here because that was only the 4th pitch of the inning.
Yeah, you need to make this guy work a little bit out there. That's automatic when you get those 2 quick at bats. You got to take one, right?
Missed away, 2-0, and again, a good look at Milazzo trying to steal the pitch, holding on to it, trying to pull it. Home plate umpire doing a good job of staying in the zone, as it were. There's a strike, 2-1. Low 80s for Blanchard with his fastball, and he'll get to 84 at times. But again, 4-pitch pitcher with command. Not all about velocity, which, by the way, is good enough at this level, unquestionably. This is high, though, and he's fallen behind on a rare occasion. 3 balls and a strike, and this is only the second 3-ball count he's had on any hitter in the game, facing his 11th batter. Has to throw a strike on 3-1, and does not. Thomas aboard with 2 outs, which will get Bryce Rochelle, a very good hitter, to the plate.
Destrehan had a 2-out rally in the second. Trying to get something going here again here in the third.
3 stolen bases for Thomas on the year and as many attempts, but I would suggest that they run with caution against Milazzo, who's got a really good arm. Here's Rochelle, fly to center in the first to end the inning. Down and in. Strawberry Stadium in the background, and right center field here in this ballpark, and stretching into center, home of the Lions football team in the Southland Conference. Snap throw to first, and back is T.J. Thomas, and they've got a new boss.
Exactly. My former Tulane colleague, Frank Selfo, now running the football program after Ron Roberts headed west about 100 miles to go be the defensive coordinator at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette.
Doesn't get it. Runner breaks. Look at the throw. Goodness gracious. You're not going to run on Milazzo as he guns out Thomas by a bunch. Now, that was not a straight steal. Hitter swinging. It was a hit and run. Rochelle doesn't make contact. Thomas is dead. 2-4 on the putout. And the inning is over with no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Bottom of the third coming. Remaining a 1-1 ball game on CrescentCitySports.com. Bottom of the third inning, tied at 1, Ken Trahan, Lenny Van Gilder from Pat Kennelly Diamond at Alumni Field in Hammond. Landon Marceau back to the mound. He set down 5 in a row, now deals with the top of the order that did the damage first time around. Red Hebert singled, stole a base, scored the run for the Broncos, and takes a hot one for a strike. Cranford and Town will follow. Hebert was a solid line drive single to left first time up. They're opposite field for him. Huge gap in left center and down the left field line. And he turns on this one and gets it through into left. Another base hit. Got a breaking ball inner portion. Turned on it and drives it through the left side just past the outstretched glove of Porter. So Red Hebert is 2 for 2. And now they can play games again with their speed on the bases.
You get the leadoff man on if you're Zachary. I've got to believe that changes most teams' offensive effectiveness significantly. But the way they play the game, it's got to be almost exponential.
Well, Hebert stole the base earlier. He's now 17 for 19. Will likely run here. Cranford may bunt again. Remember, it was his bunt that led to the run the first time, but he taps this foul. It's 0-1. That play in the first resulted basically in the run for Zachary. He bunted with Hebert at first. The catcher, Rochelle, collided with Cranford. The ball kicked behind the plate. The home plate umpire ruled fair ball. Scorer ruled an error. Everybody safe. Chris Meir was upset, and a run ended up scoring. Thus, we're 1-1 here. There he goes and stops, and a swing and a pop foul out of play. Left side. I'm not parked over there, so it's fine, and it's 0-2.
Got him out in front of that breaking ball right there, and that's the thing That's the thing the breaking ball does. I mean, he's got a big spread between the speed of his fastball and the speed of his breaking ball. It's one thing to move around eye levels and such, and that's very important. But when you've got a big differential in speed from your fastball to your breaking pitch, that's
Cranford takes Hebert, runs. The throw is an air ball into center field and a stolen base for Hebert as the count goes to 1-2. So now Hebert with 2 stolen bases in the game, 18 on the year, and he's in scoring position.
Good time to run right there on 0-2. Not going to bunt.
And Rochelle, in his haste to get it there quickly, as I mentioned, called it an air ball. I mean, he just really tried to get rid of it too quickly, didn't have a grip, and it skied on him. 1-2. Down and in. Nice block by Rochelle. Keeps Hebert at second. Two balls and 2 strikes. And again, both pitchers slow down with runners on base. You can fully understand when Zachary gets men on because of what they do on the base paths. 2-2 from Marceau. Grounded foul over toward the Zachary dugout and into it as it holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Jacob Fisher, very bright young coach for Zachary as they turn things over recently in their program. Jesse Cassard and Jacob's done an outstanding job.
Well, homecoming for him today. Of course, he played here.
Tap foul. Yep, he's another Southeastern former star and hero. He's got 2 coaches on his staff that played here at Southeastern as well, Chris Ernest and Brendan Efferson. So it's a homecoming, much like we've had previously when we've done games here for our website in past years. When Holy Cross has come here with Cass Hargis and his former stardom here at Southeastern.
Banners hanging up underneath the stadium. The leading hitter in Southeastern history.
That was off the foot, I believe. Yeah, it was a foul ball. Finally, it was called by the base umpire. I mean, you could see that ball hit off of his foot. Took a while for the call to be made, but that's another foul ball. But this is a good at-bat by Cranford. He's fouled off 3 in a row with 2 strikes. Battling.
Jacob went to Zachary, so he's back at his alma mater. Played at LSU Eunice, and then came here to Southeastern. Younger brother Jamison was an outstanding player here for the Lions.
Good curveball struck him out. Well, that's that beautiful curveball that Marceau has, and that's the equalizer, Lenny. You can sit fastball, and he just Drops that sucker in, and you got no
He
chance.
snaps it off big time, and nothing that Cranford could do about that. Strikeout number 4 for Marceau. It's at 32 now on the year.
And Rivertown, a strikeout victim in the first bats with a runner in scoring position, 1 out. Open stance left side. Waves that bat around. Hebert jockeying off a second. Swing and a miss. Boy, change speeds on him beautifully there. That was a changeup.
Yeah, that was a terrific pitch right there, especially to start the at-bat. And you got to be careful here with Hebert down at second base. Like you said, they will do about anything. Now, with the left-handed hitter up there, I don't know if he would straight steal third base because it gives a catcher a clean shot to throw it down there. But trying to get the runner to third with less than 2 outs.
No balls and a strike. And this is a wild pitch. We'll get the runner to third. That's big with only 1 out. Rochelle did his best to block it up, but couldn't quite corral it. And Hebert now 90 feet away, and Rivertown's just looking to make contact here.
Exactly. You want to get the ball in place somewhere. Let's see how Destrehan plays this. They are in at the corners. Now they're going to come in all the way around.
Yeah, they are. I mean, and that indicates what kind of game you expect. 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul tip into the middle on the breaking ball. So it's a ball and 2 strikes. Landon Marceau harkens some comparisons to Kurt McCune, who pitched at Destrehan a few years ago and also went to LSU. Now, McCune was taller, but similar stuff and a similar path. Breaking ball beat on the ground, foul, first base side. Left it up a little bit, but Town pulled it foul. Hebert will have to return to third base.
And look, I think that you can play in right here because of the type of pitcher you've got on a mound, that you think you're not going to get solid contact. And there's a great chance that he's going to miss a bat right here and strike somebody out for the second out of the inning.
Holding it 1-2 on Town. Infield still in. Outfield shades him the other way. Town calls time. That's a great name, Rivertown.
I think of South Kenner when I hear it.
Certainly do. Spent a lot of time there. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball beat on the ground, a second. Runner for the plate. The play is not going to be there. To first for the out goes Schexnayder. Scoring is Hebert. Speed kills, and Zachary takes a 2-1 lead. Normal play, Lenny. Infield in, you're coming home. Schexnayder may not have gotten a clean handle when he tried to get it out of the glove, and with the speed of Hebert, he wisely went to first.
Yeah, the play was to his left and was not able to get his shoulders squared up. If it had been straight in, that he would have come in to make the play, or a little bit to his right, I think he'd have had a better chance there.
Back to the screen. Good swing by Blanchard. It's 0-1. Blanchard hit by a piss his first time. It's 2-1. Zachary on top here in the bottom of the third inning.
That's just classic Zachary baseball right there. Base hit, stolen base, wild pitch, scoring a ground out.
That's it. Get a guy on base. It's what they do. They pressure you. Swing and a miss. Good hook. And it's 0-2.
Get him on, get him over, get him in.
Well, this game's been all about Red Hebert thus far. He's both times singled and both times created havoc on the bases with a couple of stolen bases, and his speed got a run there. 0-2 to left and hit pretty well. Back goes Wild. He's on the track. He's there, and he makes the catch. So Wild able to track one, hit pretty deep. With that wind blowing out, you had to take a deep breath and wait there. But Wild able to put it away for Destrehan. A run scores on a hit. Nobody left. We've played 3. It's the Broncos 2 and the Wildcats 1 here at CrescentCitySports.com. This portion of Crescent City Sports Prep Baseball is presented by Ye Olde College Inn and Rockin' Bowl. College Inn, a true New Orleans farm-to-table restaurant, open Tuesday through Saturday for dinner, and the home of the New Orleans Prep Sports Hall of Fame. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left for Zachary. It's 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. 2 men left for Destrehan as we go to the 4th. Bryce Rochelle was at the plate when Thomas was out stealing to end the 3rd. He's back up there, fly to center, his first trip. First pitch from Blanchard, his 41st of the game, and it just missed for ball 1. Joliffe and Wild will follow.
Let's see if Destrehan can answer again. They did in the top of the 2nd after Zachary got on top.
Back to the screen. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
The thing I'm sure Chris Muir would like to see happen here is get some activity on the base pass early in the inning. The only base runners Destrehan has had to date have all come with 2 outs.
2 outs, yep. And it's 2-1. Not able to put any pressure on the defense under that scenario.
They still have run a little bit. Of course, you had to, whether it was a caught stealing or a failed hit and run.
To right, that's a hit, and it could be extras. Right fielder will track it so it'll hold him to a single. So Brown got over there. Boy, he's a good athlete. Not much going to get by him. Off the bat, that ball was slicing. You thought it might get down toward the corner, but Brown, very quick, got there. Holds Rochelle to a leadoff single.
Yeah, and I think the grass certainly would play a little bit slower than the turf. If that's all turf out there, perhaps it does skip down into the corner. But look, you need the base runner. It's you need the leadoff base runner to try to get something going here. And let's see exactly what the Wildcats have in store with the leadoff man on for the first time tonight.
Dustin Joliffe grounded to first unassisted his first time. Let's see how Chris Muir plays it with his cleanup hitter. And the third baseman is cheating in. Blanchard has a pretty good move, and Milazzo has a really good arm. So I think you've got to play station to station if you're thinking in terms of advancing a runner. Otherwise, you hit away. No indication from the hitter, and a shorter lead there by Rochelle, who's back. Chris Muir took over the Destrehan program from Marty Luquette, who's done an outstanding job, as did Marty. There is the bunt, and the play will be to first, so the job is done. To second goes Rochelle on the sack by Joliffe. Runner in scoring position, 1 out for Zach Wild. Struck out swinging in the 2nd. And that bunt, Lenny, is a very good example of what you have to do. Too many times we see hitters try to be too perfect, try to get it too much toward the line. If you're up there to sacrifice, the job is to get the runner advanced, get it far enough in front of the plate, and don't worry about placement. Make people move, and you'll get the job done.
Exactly. That is what you're up to. Sacrifice, by definition, you're giving yourself up. The one thing you don't want to do is butt it hard back to the mound and give somebody a chance to make a play at second. You just got to kill it.
This is down 1-0 to Wild. He's driven in 14, so he's a good resource for driving in runs for Destrehan. They trail 2-1 here in the top of the 4th inning from Southeastern Louisiana University. The 1-0. Breaker for a strike makes it 1-1. Incidentally, the gun they were using in the stadium earlier, they've turned that off. I don't know if that was by design or someone said, you know, I'd rather not have that up there.
I don't know.
So we
who
can't
knows
convey that
with
to you.
with NCAA rules? Who knows? It might not be legal to have it on for a high school game. We can't keep track of all that.
Hitter stepped out. On 1-1, Zach Wild doesn't get it. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good movement on that breaking ball from Blanchard. Also want to extend our thanks to Matt Reiser, JRTs, the entire athletic staff at Southeast and Louisiana for making us right at home here at Pat Kennelly Diamond, Alumni Field.
Along with Andrew Bishak, Caleb Manuel, all the folks who work behind the scenes to help make this happen for us.
Good people.
Third year in a row we've been up here to broadcast a high school game, and I give them credit. They choose to be able to host high school games here a lot on Mondays like this when they're not playing, and it's a great opportunity for these young men to come in.
Fastball up in the zone, tried to get him to chase, would not, and it's 2-2.
And I think it's a great recruiting tool for these schools as well. Be able to show off their facilities. Let guys be able to come in here and play. And certainly part of the hook for Southeastern is they've got the alumni from their program who are coaching these teams, whether it's Fisher at Zachary, it's Cass Hargis at Holy Cross. They've got some others out there as well. And that certainly plays into these opportunities to be able to bring their former players back to the ballpark that they played in their college days. But it's also a chance to get these high school players in here to see their facility.
Big off move to second. Again, you have got to be alerted all times against Zachary. They'll put every play on there is. Good job by Rochelle to get back. Two toward third, coming to get it. Abear looks the runner back, and now he loses it on the throw. So Abear trying to deke and then maybe in between, right? Trying to throw it across. And as a result, both runners are safe. Has to go as an error on the third baseman. And 2 aboard with 1 out. Remember that.
And Colin, look, I'm not sure. He triple clutched on that thing, and I'm not sure if he ever got a grip on it really well, but perhaps.
I think he was trying to fake the runner.
Yeah, maybe.
I really do, and I think that's what got him in trouble. So 2 on. Rochelle second, Wild first, and Scheck with the chance. Remember, he doubled to the base of the wall in left and scored the Destrehan run back in the second. Big off, move to second again, and once again, Rochelle back. Hard tag by David. Long look, Blanchard delivers. Strike called outside corner of the knees to Scheck. A quality pitch.
And no doubt this game has slowed down to a crawl when runners are on base. Both of these pitchers taking a lot of time. And that's not necessarily an indication of how these guys pitch as much as an indication of how these two teams want to put pressure on you on the base paths.
Scheck stepping out. Mentioned Matt Reiser. What a job he's done here at Southeastern. What a consistently excellent program. 2 straight NCAA tournaments. And in good position to do it again this year. Down a ball. It's 1-1. Southeastern 18-9 right now. 7-2 in the Southland Conference.
What a big night of college baseball tomorrow night. You've got Tulane coming here to Hammond. You've got LSU playing UL Lafayette out at the Shrine on Airline in the annual Wally Pontiff Jr. Classic. You've got Mississippi State going to Nichols tomorrow night. It's a great night for baseball in these parts. You want to go check out a game, it's a great opportunity to go do it.
Matt Reiser's got quite a winning streak against Tulane as we speak, too.
He does.
Want a chance 5 straight, I think.
I think it is, yeah, and a chance to extend it, certainly here tomorrow night.
Tulane a good weekend series win over Cincinnati to start their conference, the American Conference, this past weekend. The 1-1 pitch. Foul back. He had a good cut at that one out over the plate. That might have been Scheck pitch. It's 1-2. West on deck. 2 on, 1 out. A 1-run lead for Zachary here in the 4th. Zachary beat Destrehan 3-0 earlier this year in a game that was played in the Jay Patterson shootout in Gonzales. It was a good ball game. Probably seeing a really good pitcher for Destrehan. Lost that night, but he's good. Zachary got a great effort from Brad Abear to win it. Toward the hole, third baseman there. Second for 1, no relay. So runners will end up at the corners with 2 outs. Scheck will run at first. Rochelle the third. Ethan West, who drove in the only run for Destrehan with a 2-out single in the second, gets an opportunity for a repeat performance.
Let's see how the Wildcats choose to play this right here. Runners at first and third, 2 outs with an aggressive team out there. Really anything's in play right here.
Schexnayder stole a base. His first time out there, yeah, wouldn't be out of the question for Destrehan to try to steal the run and get the runner held up and a run down, or even to try to draw a throw through. We shall see. Schexnayder, as mentioned, with the steal earlier in the game. Definite threat here to do some running again. Runner's lead, not going. Pitch is a strike, a generous strike over the outside edge. And again, that's Milazzo with the job he does in framing pitches. A 3-0 win for Zachary, who's on March 8th in Gonzales. Oh, 1. That's up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind picks up again, and it has been howling out of this ballpark from the time we arrived here earlier this afternoon. Continues to be the case. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 on and 2 outs. Ethan West took another generous strike called over the outside edge. So if you're Ethan West, you know you've got to offer at that pitch. You can't take it again. 1 and 2, and the pitcher knows it as well. As if he tries to come in on him now or stays with that pitch outer portion. He's staying away, and the pitch is up and in. Catcher set up away. Fastball was up and in. Missed his spot, 2 and 2.
A lot of movement there. Let's see if anything's going on 2 and 2 right here. Obviously 3 and 2 if it gets to that point. You know the runner at first is on the move.
2-2 pitch, and that's off the outside edge. So now the runner will go. It's full 3 and 2. Best case scenario for Chris Muir and his Wildcats here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Schexnayder will break from first. He's got to make sure it's out of the pitcher's hand. First baseman does move behind him, as you would imagine. He'll take off on 3 and 2. There he goes. Swing and a miss. The ball gets away, and a run's going to score, and this game is tied. It's a strikeout wild pitch. No chance for Milazzo as that ball carried wildly toward the Zachary dugout. What a way to tie the game, Lenny.
Well, like we said, you needed to get the run back. Not exactly probably the way Chris Muir had it in mind, but he'll take it just the same.
So we're tied at 2, and Destrehan still has a shot with 2 on 2 outs. And Cole Porter strikes to the plate, and he struck out his first time up. I was about to say Cole Porter about to strike up a tune. How many times has he heard that?
Oh, I'm sure. Some great names on these 2 teams,
really?
I got to tell you.
This is an old name game. Here it comes. Down and in, 1 and 0. Taking a lot of time, Blanchard. Delivers. High and away, 2 and 0.
And obviously, this has been kind of a high-stress inning for him. Probably the most stress he's been under in this game because you had the leadoff man on base. So he's had to work from the stretch the entire inning.
Two balls, no strikes. Porter shoots it to second. David has it. Short way for the force. Inning is over. Destrehan gets even. A run on a hit. There was an error. 2 stranded. They've left 3. We're on to the bottom of the 4th. And this game is tied 2-2 here at CrescentCitySports.com. Bottom of the fourth inning, tied 2-2. And for the Broncos, it will be Keelan Brown, Tyler Jackson, and Jaden Williams against Landon Marceau, who's thrown 46 pitches. He's hit a batter, struck out 4. Showed bunt, took a strike. Brown in the hole. Brown drove in a run with a grounder his first time up, which gave Zachary the early 1-0 lead in the first. Destrehan scored in the second. Zachary in the third, Destrehan in the fourth. And we're even here, bottom of the fourth inning, and the 0-1 pitch. Good curveball, and it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Beats a breaking ball foul. Stayed alive. Just an emergency hack there as his front side was gone. But again, good hitters find a way to stay alive in such circumstances, and Brown did that. Center fielder Amir is well over toward right center. Threw it by him. Brown gone on strikes. The 5th strikeout recorded by Marceau, and Tyler Jackson will bat. Jackson a strikeout victim in the first. John Curtis continues red hot. They beat St. Augustine 9-3 today. There's a slow roller to third. That's trouble if it stays fair, but it rolls foul, and it's 0-1. You never know because of the turf surface, Lenny. Not your traditional infield with a slope or dirt cut out after the grass is there. So you oftentimes see those kind of balls stay fair, but that had a little slice on it.
Right. The one thing that you look for on ordinary grass fields, as soon as that ball rolls off the grass, it immediately makes a left or a right turn and heads foul. You don't get that here because everything is the same level.
0-1. Straight back here, and it's 0-2. I mentioned Curtis. Boy, they've really got it going now. They are playing lights-out baseball. They're scoring tons of runs, and they're getting great pitching. Unfortunately, we won't get to see John Curtis and Zachary or John Curtis and Sam Houston.
Curtis and Barb, any of those teams, you get to see them, just not against each other, perhaps.
Right. No balls and 2 strikes, and another fastball away. Count at 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. And another. There's the beautiful curve. Got him looking. And that's out number 2. Boy, started off the edge. It broke right over. It takes care of Jackson. And you're helpless there if you're looking for that 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, there's that. There's just not a lot. You're right. Not a lot you can do when you see that hammer get snapped off right there. And that is just a terrific pitch from Marceau. And this is get a brief timeout here as Jacob Fisher wants to visit with Jaden Williams before he steps into the box.
That's all about slowing down Marceau.
It's slowing it down. Look, this is a guy, the times that we've seen him, he gets better as the game goes along. Mm-hmm. And he's settling in. You know, the good thing, while he's given up a couple of runs, his offense has responded. They've gotten the get-back run right away. And so he hasn't had to go out there pitching from behind.
To short, Thomas has range and a good arm. High throw, but the good job by Joliffe. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Marceau, who set down 6 in a row. We've played 4. We're even. Destrehan 2, Zachary 2 at CrescentCitySports.com. This portion of Crescent City Sports Prep Baseball is presented by Riverlands Insurance and Luling, meaning all your insurance needs. Call Riverlands at 1-800-336-4579. Fifth inning begins. 2 runs, 3 hits, an error, and 3 left for Destrehan. It's 2 runs, 2 hits, an error, and 2 left on base for Zachary. Joey Blanchard back to the mound. He's got Brock Meir to start it against him.
Speaking of Lily, probably a few folks watching in St. Charles Parish this evening.
0-1 to Meir, took a breaking ball, showed bunt. Meir tried to bunt his first time, and catcher Milazzo threw him out easily. 1-1. You're trying to say that people in the River Parish region have some degree of interest in high school sports? Is that what
just
you're trying to say?
Little. Just a little.
Curious.
And better than most. How about that?
I would absolutely concur with that. 1-1 pitch. At the knees, it's 1-2. Herm and Thomas will follow here in the 5th inning. And you start to get into these final 3 frames. You start thinking maybe another run could win this game. 1-2 pitch. And off the plate, it's 2-2. But again, Milazzo kind of makes everything look pretty good back there, doesn't he?
He does. He's a terrific defensive catcher, and that is it's a skill you don't see very often at the high school level. You see good pitchers. You see good hitters.
Popped up left side, shortstop out, left fielder in. Cranford there to make the catch. He had to go a long way and makes the play for 1 out. Now, Cranford wanted that ball. That's something as a coach you love to see because Williams with speed got there with the play in front of him, but Cranford had called it all the way, and he makes a nice play on that ball.
And you can see why he's getting a lot of looks out there. I mean, he can obviously swing the bat, but he's gotten offers from quite a number of state schools to continue his playing career.
Clay Herm has popped to second, grounded to short. 0-1.
Including, by the way, the folks here in Hammond have extended an offer his way. A lot of their Southland Conference rivals have done the same.
0-1 is a strike of the knees, so quickly Blanchard ahead of Herm. No balls and 2 strikes. And the 0-2. Breaking ball popped him up third base side. This is Hebert. Has a play, and he's got it. Hebert puts it away for out number 2. That's
trust
5
us.
straight retired by Joey Blanchard.
Yeah, trust us, he got it. I think the pole might have gotten in the way there a little bit, but he did make the play. Down on the warning track, just past the third base dugout that Zachary is occupying this evening.
2 gone for T.J. Thomas, who's grounded out and walked. And takes it just off the plate. Toward the hole, shortstop backhands Cranford, very smooth. What an arm, inning over. That's a good-looking player. 3 up, 3 down here for Destrehan in the 5th, and that's 6 in a row retired by Blanchard. Let's take a stretch in Hammond, tied 2-2 at CrescentCitySports.com. Bottom of the 5th inning, tied at 2, and the Broncos of Sam Catano leading it off, to be followed by Creed David, and then the top of the order, and Red Hebert against Landon Marceau. 55 pitches in 4 innings. He's hit 1 and struck out 6. This is a ball to Catano, who popped to second his first time up. Play him well around to the other side. We've seen that a lot, an indication of the velocity of Marceau. Tap foul behind the plate. It's 1-1. Ball and a strike. Good pitch. Doesn't get it. Catano in the hole, 1-2. Excellent location down. One, two. Roll toward third. Got to come get it. Porter on the move. Has it. Nice play for the out. Boy, Porter on a dead run. Bobbled, stayed with it, and made a nice throw to take care of Catano, who beat it down the line pretty good for out number 1.
We take another look, and that's all Porter at third base right there. This was a slowly hit ball, and not a lot of margin for error right here. And terrific play to get him by about half a step at first.
Creed David grounded to short his first time. Takes it down, 1-0. David took a strike at the knees. It's 1-1. Hebert looms on deck. He's had a big game.
You think? Zachary has 2 hits and Hebert has 2 hits. Zachary has 2 runs and Hebert scored them both.
Rochelle tried to get a pitch there, didn't get the call. Down and out, it's 2-1. Swing and a miss. Challenged him. It's even at 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Creed David took a hook. It's over but low. Wow. Full 3-2.
Really good pitch right there. Like you said, it had to be a little bit low because it was certainly over the plate.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch on the way. And he fought him off. Holding at 3-2. David trying to find his way on ahead of the top of the order. Slowly towards short. Got to come get it. Thomas does. Guns got him. 2 gone. Pretty sound defense played in this game, and that's kind of what we expected from these 2 teams.
Yeah, no doubt. These 2 teams are really good at the basics of the game. And it's the kind of game we've seen thus far. If there's an error on each side, certainly, but look, a lot of that is just based on the pressure that teams are putting on you, and mistakes are going to happen. But really, this has been an outstanding game.
Yeah, in defense of the Destrehan era, that's a tough error to give on what could have easily been an interference play. Roller toward first. First baseman Joliffe to get it, and he'll take the play himself for the out. So a very quick inning, 3 ground ball outs. They get Hebert for the first time, and Marceau is rolling. He's set down 9 in a row. We've played 5. We're tied at 2 here at CrescentCitySports.com. On to the 6th inning we go. In what has been a really good one, as we expected it would be. Tied 2-2 along with Lenny Van Gilder. I'm Ken Trahan. Bullpen stirs a bit for Zachary. No action yet, but we might get some soon. And here in the 6th, the heart of the order for Destrehan. 3, 4, and 5. Bryce Rochelle, Dustin Joliffe, Zach Wild against Joey Blanchard, who's been good. Blanchard's retired 6 in a row. Rochelle has singled and scored. He's 1 for 2. This will be the 74th pitch of the game from Blanchard. It's down. It's ball 1. He's walked only 1. He struck out 3. That's what's been impressive, is he's only walked 1. On the other hand, no walks issued by Marceau. He has hit a batter, but great command by both pitchers. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Jacob Fisher told us before the game that if he went to the pen, it might be Red Abear, who is over at third base. So I don't know if he had a chance. Of course, he made the last out there. Probably didn't get a chance to go down and throw it all in the 5th inning. Maybe he goes down there in the bottom of the 6th.
Up and in, 2 balls and a strike to Rochelle. As I said about an inning and a half ago, you get the feeling that next run wins, the way this one's unfolding and the way these pitchers are working and the way the teams are defending. Here is the 2-1 pitch. Down and out, 3-1. A lot of these plays that have been made on the infield by these two teams have not been easy chances.
No doubt. It's really been well played, well pitched baseball game.
Rochelle offering at the 3-1, taps it over toward the Broncos dugout, and the count now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I do want to mention it's the first of back-to-back streams for us here at Crescent City Sports. We're back with you tomorrow afternoon with your favorite sport, Ken, bowling, starting at 1 o'clock.
To the shortstop, Cranford, gloves it, throws it, got him, 1 gone. Thoroughly enjoy bringing you the bowling.
You get to reenact your role of Chris Schenkel. I'll play Bo Burton tomorrow from AMF All-Star Lanes in Kenner. It's the New Orleans Bi-Regional, where we will send 4 teams, 2 boys, 2 girls, onto the state semifinals. A lot of action tomorrow. We'll get down to 2 on each side of the bracket. Start with 14 boys teams and 8 girls teams.
Dustin Joliffe takes it down for ball 1.
A couple of New Orleans area teams at the top seeds. The Brother Martin boys, the Academy of Our Lady girls. Both of them went undefeated in the regular season.
Shot up the middle for a base hit. Joliffe is on with a 1-out single here in the 6th. Wildcats have their 4th hit of the game. And the go-ahead run is on for Zach Wild, who is fanned and reached on an error. Maurepas beat Holden 6-3. Baseball today. Here's Wild.
Joliffe's got 3 stolen bases on the year.
Strike called to the knees. Again, very hard to run on this combination. Pitcher, Blanchard, very good pickoff move. Catcher, Malazzo, outstanding arm, as we saw earlier. Out of play, it's no balls and 2 strikes on Zach Wild. Wild with 14 driven in. He has a home run on the season. The 0-2 popped up, foul, and that will make the seats. Count remaining. No balls and 2 strikes.
I enjoy coming to this ballpark. It is good feel to it, nice atmosphere, good facility, good surface.
Got enough trees to line the outfield beyond the fences, which always is aesthetically pleasing. Gassed him and got him. 2 gone. He climbed the ladder with a fastball and threw it by Zach Wild. So Blanchard humps up and gets a big out. And now Avery Schexnayder, who's been in the middle of things, will bat. He doubled, stole a base, scored a run in the 2nd, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Bats with 2 outs. Runner at first. Rolls it slowly toward third. This is a tough chance. Swinging bunt single here. No play. Throw to second, no play there. So Schexnayder with his second hit, 5th hit of the game for Destrehan. They've got a 2-out opportunity with Ethan West coming up. And remember, he had the 2-out RBI single back in the 2nd inning.
He's been at the plate when both runs have scored. It was his strikeout wild pitch back in the 4th inning, tied the game.
So 2 on and 2 outs. Big opportunity for West. Run that matters at second. That's Joliffe. Schexnayder first. Not that he doesn't matter. Good secondary leads by both. Here it is. In the air to center. Hit pretty well. Center fielder on his horse. Back, back, back. You're not going to get there. This ball is down. 1 run is home. 2 runs will score. And a big 2-out, 2-run double by Ethan West. There's your star. And Destrehan takes a 4-2 lead. West strikes a blow. Wind blowing out. Center field of town shallow. Runs well. You had to wait because of that. But once you saw it up in that jet stream, you knew it was going to be tough for him to get there.
Yeah, and it was well touched, and like you say, got it up into the jet stream here with the wind blowing out, and it just carried out there deep into left center field. And clutch once again. He's got 3 RBIs, all of them with 2 outs. All 4 Destrehan runs have scored with 2 outs.
Cole Porter has struck out, reached on a fielder's choice, trying to play add-on here. West from second. And a bunt is a beauty. Catcher Milazzo, great play, but can't get him. Base hit on a terrific bunt by Cole Porter. I mean, Milazzo showed tremendous athletic ability to get to that ball sliding, but because of that, he couldn't get anything on the throw.
Yeah, you look at it again here, Ken. How he got anything on the throw when he's about to get run over, it looks like Zachary's really good at football. It looks like a football play here with his pitcher about to tackle him, as it were, and still managed to get that throw there. As we're going to see Jacob Fisher make a visit to the mound, bring his entire infield in, talk about the situation. Not sure if we're going to see a change or if he's just going to go over the situation with a runner at first and third and 2 outs and a 9-hole hitter, Mir getting ready to step in. But a big spot in this game, certainly for Zachary. You've got to keep this thing right here at a 4-2 ball game. And this is not a situation they're used to being in, Ken, playing from behind.
Well, the other thing about it is Brock Mir is a pretty good bunter. He's already bunted once in the game into an out. Looked to bunt a second time. So, again, defense has to be on its toes here. I mean, Mears came into the game as a 100 batter with no RBIs, so the bunt is a real possibility.
Well, not just the bunt, but do you look at trying to steal a run with a double steal here with some kind of play on the base paths?
Not bunting, took it down and out, ball 1. Down a ball, and he saved a run. That's Milazzo with an outstanding block on a ball in the dirt. It's 2-0.
Yeah, West made a hard break off a third when he saw that ball was going to be down low. When would you try something here? Would you let it get to 2-1?
2-0. Oh, there's a borderline strike, and it's 2-1. That pitch looked a little bit down and out. 2-1 the count.
Blanchard's gotten that call more than once here this evening, that outside corner.
2 balls and a strike, 2 on and 2 outs. Big insurance run down at third. Fast one inside, 3-1. Top of the order with Herm on deck. They'd love to turn the lineup over here with Destrehan. Three balls and a strike. And there's ball 4. So bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's your ball game with Clay Herm to the plate. I mean, a base hit here could really be a winner for Destrehan when you got Marceau on the mound with only 6 outs to get. And here comes Jacob Fisher. Fisher's going to call Red Abear in. I think he's going to bring him in to pitch. He will. So Hebert's going to take to the mound here. That's going to finish the day for Blanchard. He pitched well, 5 2/3. Boy, it was the 2-out hit he just couldn't avoid. And what really kept this inning alive, Lenny, was the infield roller for a base hit by Schexnayder.
No doubt. There's 2 outs and a runner at first at that point. You got a chance to get out of it right there. The infield roller puts runners at first and second, and then West comes right behind it, delivers that shot into the deep left center field. It's a score 2. That's the difference in this game right now, but it did allow for it. We get a look at Hebert warming up there, and he's got a number of ways he can come at you. He's got 3 pitches, but he's going to come from that 3/4 to sidearm motion. That's going to be a different look that will, it's the kind of thing that would play well as a reliever, at not just at this level, but at the next level as well. As a fastball, curveball, changeup. You mentioned he pitched the shutout the first time these two teams met. So Destrehan has seen Hebert before. Perhaps that plays to the Wildcats' advantage from the standpoint of familiarity, but not from the standpoint that they couldn't get anything going off of him the first time either.
Hebert will be facing Clay Herm when play resumes with the bases loaded and 2 outs. It's a straight switch. Blanchard goes to third, and Hebert to the mound. No other changes. And here's Herm in a big situation. He's driven in 9 on the year.
Hebert's numbers on the season, as good as everyone else. 4-0, 0.71 is the earned run average. He has been outstanding in 29 2/3 innings, 18 hits, 8 runs, 3 earned, 7 walks, 12 strikeouts. So not a big strikeout guy. This is not a situation you necessarily need one with 2 outs.
Here's Herm from the stretch. Hebert pitches, and that's a strike. It's 0-1.
Want to get one on the ground here and let your defense make a play behind you.
And having seen him before and had no success, my guess is they try to stay inside the ball, just go the other way with it if you're a right-handed hitter like Clay Herm. They don't have him play that way. There's a big hole right side and a big gap down the right field line. So right fielder Brown is way over toward right center.
Yeah, they've played these Destrehan hitters to pull quite a bit today. Even if West played to pull, but it didn't matter. He just hit it over their head.
To center fielder there this time, Town, has it measured, puts it away. So Hebert gets a big out and avoids further damage. Destrehan takes the lead with 2 runs in the inning. They do it on 4 hits, no errors. They strand 3, they've left 6. The bottom of the 6th is coming, and it's the Wildcats 4 and the Broncos 2 here at CrescentCitySports.com. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-2 game in favor of Destrehan. Marceau's retired 9 in a row, faces the heart of the order, and a tapper foul by Cranford to get it started here in the 6th on the 68th pitch by Marceau. So he's in good shape with only 68 pitches here in the 6th inning. Cranford has reached on that controversial error back in the 1st and then struck out. Town and Blanchard to follow. They've got the guys up they want, do the Broncos here in the bottom of the 6th. Liner to right field. That's toward the gap. That's trouble, and it's going to head to the wall. He rounds first and heads for second. And there's a leadoff double by Collier Cranford here in the 6th, and a big start for the Broncos. Snaps the skid of 9 straight retired by Marceau.
What was interesting is that ball was basically hit the straightaway right field, but they were really playing the defense the other way, so much so that it turned almost straightaway right field into a gap. And it got down out there towards the Raising Cane sign in right field, and Cranford is standing at second. This is the third time Zachary's had the leadoff man on. The first 2 times they've scored.
Rivertown is struck out, grounded to second. Stepped out. Strike called. It's 0-1. You have Town played the opposite field. Look at the left fielder, Wild, way over. Like a right-handed pull hitter, and the center fielder way over as well. And the gap down the right field line is sizable. Gap to right center, very sizable.
Wind is really picked up out here. Just like that, it slacks off just a little. But you could see the wind blowing on Landon Marceau's pant legs. You can also see the clouds kind of blowing. It's blowing across now from right to left. Wind is kind of more out of the southeast.
0-1. Way outside. A ball and a strike.
Maybe Matt Merritt can get us a shot up there and just show you how those clouds are moving. They're moving quickly from the right field foul pole towards the left field foul pole. You can get a little look at them there.
Yeah, wind's really changed. It's blowing toward left now more than out to center, as we saw earlier. Conditions are always applicable in baseball. A ball and a strike on Town. Marceau from the belt with a check of the runner and the pitch. 0-1 ball, 2 strike count now. As Town comes up empty on the fastball down. 1-2. Blanchard on deck. 6 strikeouts in the game for Marceau. Certainly could use one here.
Last inning was the first inning he didn't have one. He got 3 ground ball outs. Let his defense do the work.
Marceau is set. Rivertown taps a breaking ball foul to stay alive. Lights taking greater effect now as the sun, whatever was left of it, is setting here in Hammond.
It's been a mostly cloudy early evening here, so yeah, certainly we haven't had much sun to deal with, but it is certainly setting down on the western horizon.
Marceau with a very long look at Cranford and a swing and a miss. Good job to come up with it by Rochelle, and that's out number 1. Strikeout number 7 is an important one for Marceau. You're counting outs now if you're Chris Meir. He's 5 away, but a long way to go as Joey Blanchard strides to the plate. He's been hit by a pitch and fly to left. Again, Marceau taking his time now, ready. Turns towards second. Blanchard, very dangerous. As mentioned earlier, 5 home runs, and you know what a home run would do here. And he's got 25 runs driven in. Missed the outside edge with a hot one, 1-0.
It's a tough spot if you're Marceau. Conventional wisdom says you got 5 outs to get with a 2-run lead. Just go focus on the hitter. Don't worry about the runner at second base. But the way Zachary plays the game, you can't just take it for granted that because they're down 2 runs in the bottom of a 6th of a 7th inning game, they're not going to try and steal third base here.
A ball and no strikes. And another pitch. Toward the hole, shortstop. Gloves, throws, good play, 2 gone. T.J. Thomas handled that well. Runner to third, but 2 outs.
That's with the runner cutting in front of you and potentially a play right in front of you at third base, but you go take the sure out across the diamond. Like you said, you're counting outs right now. Now you got 4 outs to get. This is a very big spot right here with 2 outs and a runner at third. You can hang a 0 right here in the bottom of the 6th. That definitely makes things a little more difficult for the home team as you head towards the bottom of the 7th.
Keelan Brown is grounded into a fielder's choice, which drove in a run in the first, and he's fanned. And Marceau elects to work from the stretch. He's comfortable in that position. One of the reasons is because Zachary has a runner at third, and they always play games with you.
They do. And you look at his wind-up motion, Ken, it's not terribly different from the stretch. He almost winds from the side a little bit.
Rochelle kept it close enough. Runner holds 1-0.
So there's not a big difference between his 2 deliveries from the wind and from the stretch.
A ball and no strikes. Threw the fastball by him. That's one of the things about Marceau I noticed in his last start. His velocity tends to stick around, which is something that all scouts are looking for. And you talked earlier about the decision to be made. I don't know that he has the velocity that would make him that really high pick. Chopped slowly toward third foul, and it's 1-2. What I mean by that is there's a certain cutoff point, like 94 or above, that people are looking at. He's not quite that guy. He's more of an 88 to 91 guy where he normally sits, which is very good. But the big money is typically reserved for the guys that have that elite velocity, 94, 95 or better.
Now what he does have
big
is
hammer.
an elite breaking ball.
Yeah, really good one. Down and out, it's 2-2. Does not want to go full here.
The thing that I look at, excuse me, that's going to play against him is just the size. You know, you have this stigma with right-handed pitchers that they've got to be 6'4", 6'5". Right. Marceau's listed at only 5'11", but he, no doubt, he can pitch.
Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Down and out, so he has run it full 3-2. Big pitch in the game coming here.
Yeah, but talking to Chris Meir just in terms of how he thought he improved this year, added weight, just in better shape, and you know, like all 17, 18-year-olds, he's a year older, he's a year wiser.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Brown. The runner at third is Cranford, and stepping off is Marceau.
And honestly, I think what I've seen of him projects very well at the major college level. I think he's a guy who could step onto LSU's campus next year and be a significant part of Paul Maneri's pitching plans in 2019.
Rochelle out to have a word with this pitcher. Now we're ready to go again. On 3-2. Payoff pitch. Chop foul. Good at bat by Brown as he continues to battle. Another payoff pitch. Marceau to Brown. Ball 4. What an at bat. Runners end up at the corners, and you know Brown's going to take off for second. So the pressure is on the Destrehan defense and on Marceau here. And by the way, that's the first walk he's issued in this game.
And yeah, if all of a sudden Brown is able to steal second right here, that's a potential game changer because then a base hit ties the game.
Well, if I'm Destrehan, I got to tell you, even though that's the tying run, I don't worry about him. You have got to focus on the hitter, and this is Tyler Jackson, a good hitter, but Marceau's retired him twice on strikes, once swinging and once looking. And you know Brown, with his speed, is going to be running. And the way that Zachary plays, they're aggressive by nature. Has his lead. Marceau delivers, not going. Pitch is down and out, a bit surprised, 1-0. Maybe waiting for the count to develop. But you don't know how deep the count's going to go. 1-0 on Jackson, who's been a very good run producer with 19 driven in. Leadoff double by Cranford. He's at third with 2 outs. Brown at first and chopped at the plate. It's 1-1.
Wanted to ask you, Ken, what do you think about the rule change in high school baseball this year now that the base coaches do not have to wear helmets any longer? I'm not in favor of it, and I see
if it's done at the other levels, why don't you do it here?
Exactly. You're doing it at the minor league levels, on up to AAA ball, and yet they've taken it away at the high school levels now. I'm not sure I totally get that.
1 ball and 1 strike. Throw to first. Of course, they can choose to wear them if they wish, but most don't. It's a matter of comfort.
I think Chris Meir is wearing one over in the third base box. I think his first base coach does as well. But and I guess you've got the choice. But when you have a base coach who got killed a few years ago at the minor league level, I'm surprised it's allowed.
Popped him up right side, playable right fielder Herm surrounds it. There, caught it. Threat is over. No runs and a hit. 2 men are stranded. That's 4 left for Zachary. We go to the 7th inning. Destrehan on top, 4-2 here at CrescentCitySports.com. On to the 7th inning we go. It's 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. 6 left for Destrehan. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. And 4 left for Zachary. Rhett Abear going to work here in the 7th. Will face T.J. Thomas, Bryce Rochelle, and Dustin Joliffe. 2, 3, and 4 for Destrehan in the order. Thomas took a ball. Thomas has walked in 3 trips. He's grounded out twice. The line on Blanchard, 5 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He walked 2, struck out 4. Stands to lose his first game, barring a rally by the Broncos, and a strike to Thomas. It's 1-1.
Still got 3 more outs to get, but this could be a huge win for the team in red and black.
Took it away, 2-1.
Especially after a tough loss, and talking to Chris Meir about that game on Saturday, just said they just could not get the big hit. Played from behind early, could not get the big hit. Left the bases loaded a couple of times, and they'll get a chance to avenge that district loss to Central Lafourche tomorrow when they return to district play. At Bayou River District, they play 3 games a week in district, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
3-2 now as he fills the count, does Thomas, as he was taking all the way, trying to get on to start the 7th. Abear battles back to full at 3-2. The payoff. Up the middle, that's a base hit. Good at bat by Thomas. He's on with a leadoff single. Destrehan has brought their hitting shoes. That's 8 hits in the game. Leadoff man is on. Bryce Rochelle will bat. He singled and scored in the 4th. And now Chris Meir can afford to be aggressive, Lenny, with a 2-run lead.
Let's see how he plays it here. You certainly want to find a way to add on, whether it's trying to steal, hit and run, bunt, whatever it is. You're right. You can be aggressive. This is the first time he started an inning with the lead this evening. So let's see what he does with the leadoff man aboard.
Away for a ball, 1-0.
Started to show bunt, pulled it back. A lot of things you can do here. Look to slash. Obviously, Rochelle in your 3-hole is a guy who can handle the bat, batting in that spot on the lineup.
Showed bunt, took a strike, 1-1. Trying to get people to move. Accomplished that, but didn't offer. Again, the 2-out magic here for Destrehan. They scored all 4 runs in the game with 2 outs. That's the difference. It separates winners from losers. If it doesn't change, there's your header for tomorrow. Or tonight, as it were, at CrescentCitySports.com. Bunted nicely. Milazzo, the only play to first. And a good bunt by Rochelle. Execution. Big run at second with 1 out and a good hitter. And Dustin Joliffe up, who has a solid single and a run scored. A sacrifice, and he's grounded out 1 for 2.
Still a lot of things in play here. Certainly you want to get 2 good swings and try to drive in that run right here, but
well, the other big part of the last half inning and getting out of trouble, Marceau went through the heart of the order. So Zachary will have the bottom 3 in its order in the bottom of the 7th. They need to get someone on to turn their lineup over. It's always something that you take note of
and
when a team is down.
Yeah, their top 2 hitters have been their biggest threats this evening. So if they can get a man or 2 on, then you've got your best hitters in the lineup thus far tonight.
Ball 1 to Joliffe.
Although 7, 8, and 9 are a collective 0 for 6. Don't know if Jacob Fisher might go to his bench, try to send a pinch hitter up there in the bottom of the last.
1-0 the count. The pitch. Hard hit ball up the middle. That's a base hit, and that will add another run. Rounding third and scoring is Thomas. A big RBI hit. Well, how about it? They ruined the story. They score with 1 out, and it's 5-2. That's still a good story.
It is. You got the first 4 runs of this game with 2 outs, delivery hit, and another clutch situation to play add on. And Joliffe now with a pair of hits, a sac bunt. He's 2 for 3 on the evening, a run scored, an RBI. He's been outstanding as well. But certainly the offensive star has been Ethan West, who has driven in 3.
5-2, and now Zach Wild, a nice bunt pitcher, will play to first. Gotta love this execution. Destrehan giving Zachary a taste of its own medicine with the way they've executed in this game. Well done by Wild, and another opportunity with 2 outs for Avery Schecksnyder, who's 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and 2 runs scored.
Yeah, he's had a nice night as well. And look, that was probably a situation where Wild was trying to bunt for a base hit and did not get it down the line and ended up getting it back to the mound, taking a chance. But worst case scenario is you advance the runner, you put the runner in scoring position, give your next hitter a chance to drive him in and add on.
Schecksnyder took it down and out. Like Marceau's chances up 3 with only 3 outs to get.
You would certainly think so. That kind of quality of pitcher, you send him out there with a 3-run lead and 3 outs, you feel pretty good about him.
1-0 is a swing and a miss. Foul tipped it into the mid. It's 1-1.
That was the changeup. And he had Schecksnyder way out in front of that one.
1-1 the count. Bluff towards second, keeping the runner, Joe Levanist. The other thing about Marceau is he's in good shape. He's thrown 85 pitches in 6 innings, so he's in good shape to pitch the 7th. Good pitch for a strike. It's 1-2.
Came into the night having only thrown 18 2/3 innings on the year. So, again, Chris Mears has been very smart with him early on. Imagine he'll continue to do that. Getting ready for the postseason. And look, this win's going to go, if they can hold on here, this one is going to go a long way in terms of Destrehan being able to play a first-round home game. They were sitting at, I believe, 15 in the power points when the day started. Obviously, they're going to get a chance to, pick up some more wins as district play goes along. But look, the 2 best teams in that league are Destrehan and Hahnville. You're going to lose some things in terms of schedule strength as you go, so you've got to continue to try to add on to those power points every way you can.
2-2 the count. Here it is. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Inning over, but Destrehan with a big insurance run on 2 hits. They strand a runner. They have left 7 in the game. Last chance coming for Zachary. They trail Destrehan 5-2 here at CrescentCitySports.com. Last chance for Zachary, bottom of the 7th. They trail Destrehan 5-2. Ken Trahan, Lenny Van Gilder. Lenny heading down toward the field. Jaden Williams, Sam Catano, and Creed David will bat here for Zachary in the 7th. Their last opportunity to try to get something done against Landon Marceau. 85 pitches. Walked 1, struck out 7, hit a batter. His 86th pitch of the game is just low, I guess. 1-0, pretty good pitch. Williams is struck out, grounded to short. Strike is called. It's 1-1. Wade Williams was going to make him throw one, and he did. And it's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jaden Williams, leading off the bottom of the 7th inning. Struck him out swinging. Strikeout number 8 for Marceau. 1 gone here in the 7th. And that will bring Sam Catano to the plate. Catano is popped out, grounded out. To left field, playable. Left fielder Wild is there, and 2 gone. Marceau 1 out away from a big complete game win. We'll deal with Creed David, who's twice grounded out to the shortstop, TJ Thomas. Oh and 1. Marceau kicks and he deals high. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch. Crowds him. 2 balls and a strike. Top of the order, Hebert up next. And Coach Jacob Fisher would love to see him bat in this game again. 2 balls and a strike. To the pitcher, off his glove. Shortstop comes, grabs, throws, base hit. Ball gets by. That'll be a throwing error and a runner to second. So it's a base hit by Creed David, and he reaches second on the throwing error by Thomas. So it has to go as a hit. Base hit and an error. No way that's a straight error. You got to be kidding me. No chance. There's no way that's a straight error. Ball caroms off the pitcher, he bare hands and throws. That's a base hit. I don't care how they scored. It's ridiculous. Runner at second with 2 outs. And Red Hebert will bat. He's got 2 hits in the game. and he scored twice. Stretch pitch. Fast one high, 1-0. Another base runner gets the tying run of the plate. Marceau tried to field that one and couldn't quite corral it. 1-0 the count. There's a strike. It's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Stepped out on him. 1 ball, 1 strike. A runner second, 2 outs here in the 7th. Marceau with the 1-1. Hebert toward third. Nice pick by Porter. Throw across is there, and the Destrehan Wildcats secure a huge victory here this evening, defeating the Zachary Broncos 5-2 in a game that took 2 hours and 4 minutes to play. Splendid stuff, to say the least, on the part of Destrehan and on the part of Marceau, who finishes off a complete game win here in this one with a 5-2 victory over the Zachary Broncos. Extremely well done by Marceau. Very well played game by Destrehan to earn the victory here this evening. They were simply outstanding, to say the least. And you got to give them a lot of credit for what they've accomplished here today. We'll get Lenny with Chris Meir and with the star players as well. So we can go anytime you wanted to go. We're good to go, Lenny. So we'll go down to Lenny right now.
Great bounce back after the tough loss on Saturday against a real quality team. I think from all phases you got to be proud of this effort.
Yeah, started out a little sluggish, but the key was every time we scored, we answered and got right back in it. And, just kept competing. Guys kept battling. Their guy was good early, and we found a way to get a couple big knocks.
2-out offense was huge. I mean, you scored your first 4 runs all with 2 outs. That's everything. This was really a clinic from all aspects on your end, I would think, in terms of the types of things you want to see happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much Destrehan baseball right there. And there's going to be days where you don't get that big knock when you need it. But today our guys were locked in. They had good pitch selection. And, it's one of those days we got the hits when we needed.
This is a huge win in terms of as you start looking to next month and trying to accumulate power points when you can beat a team the quality of Zachary, no doubt.
Yeah, excellent team. This is really our first win against a really top-tier opponent. And I challenged our guys, hey, we need to prove ourselves against, a top-tier team. And we've been close a lot of times this year. And tonight we finally broke through and got a big win.
Congratulations on the W. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Ken, we'll try to get some players here and be right back with you in just a second.
You got it. Great win here. Thanks, Lenny. Great job by the Destrehan Wildcats to win this game by the score of 5-2 here this evening. We'll give you the totals of the game now as Lenny works on getting some players to join him, some stars of the game, and he's getting them right now. So with that said, before we give you totals, let's go back to Lenny right now. Lenny?
Ken, thanks with Landon Marceau, the winning pitcher. A little bit of a sluggish start, but the beauty, I guess, of it was that your offense kept getting the run back for you, and you never had to go out there with a deficit, and then obviously it had to be a big lift when you got those 2 runs in the 6th inning to be able to pitch with a lead.
Yeah, I started off slow, but I was able to find my location on my fastball, controlling the off-speed stuff, throwing off-speed stuff for strikes. Offense battled, rough start like you said, but we came through.
What was working for you best today, and was it different having to pitch on? I know this mound surface is a little bit different maybe than what you're used to, especially at home. What worked for you today?
Later in the game, fastball location, changeup was good today. Breaking ball was sharp. I was able to control it in the zone.
Coach was just saying this is really the biggest win in terms of beating a quality opponent you guys have been able to put together this year. I know you got a couple of wins over Hanville last week, but this is one of those wins that can go a long way in terms of playoff positioning.
Oh, absolutely. One of the top teams in the country, state, I'm sorry. But, one of the top teams in the state, came out ready to compete.
One of the top teams in the country as well. They're nationally ranked in a couple of polls, number 2 in one of the computer polls. What do you think this does for the rest of the season, especially the ability to bounce back from Saturday's loss and now maybe try to start another string of victories?
Right. We just come out ready to compete for the next start. We're going to leave this one behind. We're going to carry it on with us as well. It's good momentum going into the next game.
Congratulations on the win. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Landon Martin.
All right, Lenny, thank you very much. Great job as Destrehan wins at 5-2. And, again, we promised those totals of the game. Here they are. Destrehan 5 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, 7 left on base. And Zachary 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, 5 left on base. Lenny Van Gilder now has Ethan West. Lenny, go right ahead.
Thanks, Ken. With Ethan West, the offensive star for Destrehan this evening. Talk about your at-bats. You came up in some big situations in this game and delivered, especially in the 6th inning, to give your team the lead. Talk about that at-bat in particular.
Well, that at-bat, me and my coach were talking before, and how I was just struggling getting on time with the ball and just struggling with this pitcher. And I knew that I just had to grind it out for my team, be in a big spot, and do what I need to do.
This win, in terms of how this team can take it for the rest of the season, it's a big win. I know it's out of district, but still beating a high-quality opponent like Zachary. How can this team build on this for the rest of the way?
Oh, it's going to fuel our fire, really. We're just going to keep going from here, keep playing ball like we know we can, and just keep winning. Just going to take it from here.
What is this team's attitude when Landon's on the mound, knowing that you've got a guy who can literally beat any team in the state of Louisiana when he's out there?
Oh, it takes a lot of pressure off of us on defense and offense. We know that he's a good guy. He pitches real well, and he does big things for us. And we have to come up behind him and play our part.
Best of luck the rest of the way. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir.
Ken, back upstairs.
All right, Lenny, thank you very much. Great job. It's a solid win for Destrehan over Zachary by the score of 5-2. Landon Marceau goes the distance. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs allowed by Marceau. And, of course, of those 2 runs, only one of those was earned. He walked just 1. He hit a batter. He had a wild pitch, and he struck out 8 in the game and was just outstanding. Really settled in nicely after not so much of a rough start, but a little bit of a shaky start and maybe a call that went against his team. That certainly didn't help. But certainly a very solid performance by him in this game from start to finish, as you might expect. And he only used 97 pitches in the game to get the job done, which is very significant for him and for his team. I mean, that's a good total when you look at it in, the grand scheme of things. When you only use 97 pitches, it's a real plus for your team because the big thing is to be south of 100 if you possibly can, and he was tonight, and that was big for his team in every aspect as he picks up the win. As Lenny mentioned, Ethan West with the 4 RBI in this game was the hitting star. He was simply outstanding, and, when you get timely hitting, and again, that was the case with Destrehan. They got the 2 out hits in this game consistently, and that was the difference in the game, which allowed them to be that team in this game and to emerge victorious against a really good Zachary club here tonight. Keep in mind, Zachary's only lost twice this year now. They're 21-2. It snaps a 9-game win streak for the Broncos. And, of course, Destrehan, with a victory, goes to 13-9. They had their 8-game win streak snapped by Central Lafourche on Saturday. And maybe it's the start of another win streak for them in the process. So you do the math. They've now won 9 of 10 despite that loss to the Trojans back on Saturday. They get another crack at Central Lafourche tomorrow at Central Lafourche. And Zachary has a tough game with Walker in District 4 5A coming up next for them. As Walker's another excellent team. They'll play Thursday at Walker at 6 p.m. The game at Central Lafourche, of course, coming up tomorrow. And that's an opportunity for Destrehan to get even. So, again, Marceau, 97 pitches, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. Walked 1, struck out 8 in a stellar performance to go to 3-0. Joey Blanchard, his first loss, drops to 4-1. Ray Damir finished up. And Ethan West, 2 for 3, 3 RBI in the game. They scored 4 of their 5 runs with 2 outs. And they got the job done in 2 hours and 4 minutes. And again, a victory tastes sweet for Destrehan. 5-2 over Zachary, getting revenge for an earlier season loss. Lenny, final thought or two?
I think we saw a really good baseball game between 2 really good baseball teams here. And as I mentioned, I was talking to Ethan West. When Landon Marceau's on the mound, Destrehan can beat any team in the state of Louisiana, especially when they play that way behind him and do the things on offense that they did tonight with the 2-out hitting to give their pitcher a chance to win a baseball game. And I think that Chris Meir has got to be incredibly encouraged by what he saw this evening.
Should be. And listen, they've got a really good second pitcher in Bryce Ciano. He's outstanding. So they're set up pretty well, I think, for a run. If they can find a way to score runs, because they're not a really great hitting team. They were good hitting tonight with 9 hits, and they got timely hits. And if they can find that kind of offense with the way they catch the ball and the way they pitch it, that's a dangerous team. As for Zachary, look, they're outstanding. You got no concerns about them. They got pitching depth. They catch the ball well. They can beat you a bunch of ways offensively. That's why this was such a good win for Destrehan.
It is, and certainly it's going to help them now. It's going to be interesting to see how the PowerPoints play out down the road, because if this is a team that stays in the low to mid teens, because they're not, let's face it, they're not going to make big jumps in district play. But if they stay in the low to mid teens, they win that first round. Boy, if I'm sitting there in the top 4 or 5 seeds and all of a sudden I got Destrehan coming to me in the second round in a best-of-3 series and Landon Marceau's out there in game 1, that's got to be a little bit of a discouraging feeling in terms of what that could lead to.
No doubt. So, as we mentioned, Destrehan back in District 7 5A play against Central Lafourche tomorrow on the road, and it's 4 5A action for Zachary next Thursday at Walker in what should be a very good contest. Walker, a good team. So Zachary will bounce back, no doubt about that. And Destrehan, well, they've won 9 of 10. They're going good, and we expect that'll be the case the rest of the year. Lenny, it's been a pleasure. Thanks.
We'll see you tomorrow. We'll do this again on the lanes.
There you go, on bowling tomorrow. You want to tune in to CrescentCitySports.com for the Bi-Regional and Kenner at AMF All-Star Lanes. Lenny and I will have that for you. And a plug for radio tomorrow night. We'll have a good baseball game for you on WGSO 990 AM and WGSO.com. Rematch game between Archbishop Rummel and Brother Martin. Rummel with a thrilling come-from-behind win on Saturday against Brother Martin. Sir Kirsch Rooney, the site at 7. We'll have that one for you tomorrow night. Look forward to it. Our final score once again here from Hammond this evening was Destrehan 5 and Zachary 2. Want to thank Chip and Matt Merritt for a job well done as always. Want to thank you for watching as always. We encourage you to watch always and come to Crescent City Sports Daily for all your daily sports fix. And if you're interested in supporting CrescentCitySports.com, you got the right man here with you in Lenny Van Gilder. He'll be glad to take care of you anytime, anywhere. Lenny at CrescentCitySports.com. Check him out. Hope you will. Thanks for joining us this evening, and be a good sport. God bless you one and all. We are rounding third and heading home. So long.